Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
You could win one of 2 trips to see Banana Ball live. Purchase 2 Body Armor products, use Let's Go Rewards, and you're entered to win. Right now, Body Armor is buy one, get one for $1 with Let's Go Rewards. Start getting those entries in. Let's go.
Around here, toughness isn't talked about. It's lived.
Matt Wagner with the one-handed catch down.
Early mornings, late nights.
Going forward with Ford.
Work that doesn't make the highlight reel.
Same mindset, different uniform.
This is the blue-collar grit, earned, not given.
Tough days don't stop us. They build us.
McMillan shoots and scores.
For the workers who don't back down, Ford doesn't either.
Shannon fires.
Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State Athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Happy Wednesday to you. April Fools, don't fall for it. I have yet to fall for it, but it's only 9 a.m. sometime. April Fools, any crazy reports you see out there, they're not, I haven't seen it yet, but every year they're not making the blue turf green. Relax. April 1st. If you've seen any good ones out there, let me know. But how we doing? BJ Rains with you. It's Wednesday. In a good mood today. Got some day baseball on. We got kind of a dreary day outside for the most part, but Wednesday, good day, and excited to be with you here on Bronco Nation News. No practice no practice today. Broncos had practice yesterday. They'll have practice tomorrow. So today will be kind of a film review day, meetings, weightlifting, things like that for the Broncos, and they'll get back out there practice for tomorrow. But excited to be with you from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sun Cruiser, try the all-new blueberry lemonade. Just absolutely tremendous. Cannot recommend Sun Cruisers enough. And if you haven't had them, highly, highly recommend trying a Sun Cruiser, whether it's the vodka iced teas, the vodka lemonades, and again, their new flavor, blueberry lemonade. It is tremendous. I encourage you to check it out. And of course, our title sponsor is Lithia Ford of Boise, Jim Sturk and Company, as they always have been for the last couple of months, coming through for us. Appreciate it. Was looking on their website yesterday, actually. So easy to look through their website. My wife's getting ready to look for a new vehicle, so we did kind of that early perusing, which is always a bad idea because once you start looking, then you're pretty much probably in there tomorrow buying a new car. But we were just doing some price ranges and just kind of doing some early looking on the Lithia Ford of Boise website. And their full inventory, new, pre-owned, is there online. So easy to do. And again, Lithia Ford of Boise. As you saw in the new commercial there, Matt Wagner, Roger Carrion, some of the student athletes they have on NIL deals, and they're taking care of a lot of the coaches, players you're going to be seeing and rooting for out there on the blue and Extra Mile Arena and beyond. So return the favor, folks. Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor, online, lithiafordboise.com. All right, they're already coming in. Hearing USC is coming back to the Pac, UNLV to the Pac-12 for football only, and April Fools. Looks like none of these are true so far. John, able to watch live. Appreciate you, John. Thank you for watching live. There you go. Utah State actually kept its basketball coach. April Fools. There you go. So we'll see what the chat is like today. No co-host today. You're stuck with me. So it's a press conference Wednesday. If you guys want to, I did see that. They are adding, they added 4 schools, including Air Force. If you would have said Air Force to the Pac-12, you could have got some people because you were actually correct. Air Force this morning announces it is going to the Pac-12 for wrestling. So, there is some schools adding to the Pac-12. You could have gotten some people on, maybe you still can. Tell them you heard Air Force is going to the Pac-12 and then say it's 100% true, and then you can say for wrestling only, I believe is what it is. But no co-host today. Wednesday is kind of a weird day right now, so you are stuck with me. So as I was saying, kind of a press conference Wednesday, we can go whichever direction you guys want to go. I do want to play some Maddux Madsen sound and talk a little bit about Maddux Madsen, some of the interviews we had yesterday, Bowen Phelps, also talked to Cam Bates. And I had a one-on-one interview that I do want to play today with David Latu, defensive lineman, long travel defensive lineman, has done a lot of, different stops, couple different schools, and I had a one-on-one interview with him yesterday that I wanted to play on the show as part of today because David Latu, I think, is with Braxton Feely gone, going to be one of the main guys on the interior. So we will hear from David Latu in a little bit, but we can talk football, we can talk basketball, a lot of different stuff that we can get to on today's show, whichever way you guys want to go. If you have a question about the teams, whatever, if you have a question you want answered, today's probably your day because we don't have a ton in terms of scheduled guests or things like that. Tater Tom starting us off. Any portal prospects you're aware of for men's basketball? Now, Tater Tom, if you were in the Bronco Nation News message boards, you would have a better idea. We've been in the VIP board and some other areas talking, about different players. I'll throw you one name just to maybe keep an eye on that I've heard a little buzz with, and that would be I think I told you yesterday just to look at the Division II level, and I think I might have even said Central Missouri. I'll just tell you Lazarick Houston. If you want a name, you watch this show, Tater Tom. You're not hearing this anywhere else. Lazarick Houston. He is a point guard from Central Missouri. Go look at his stats, look at his film, look him up, and I just have heard a little bit of smoke. And I said yesterday on the show, I think they're going to go international. I think they're going to go non-Division I. and I think they're going to get some high-level, Division I transfers. But one name that somebody told me to keep an eye on, Lazarick Houston. He's the point guard at Central Missouri, Division II, and check out his stats. And you wanted a name? I don't know how likely it is. I'm not saying they're getting them. I'm not saying that they're not getting them. I'm just saying Lazarick Houston might be a name that I have heard. If you're wanting a name as a prospect, as a possibility, he has a prospect as a possibility, but I don't know if that's 90%, 30%. I really don't know. But I have heard the name Lazarick Houston, so you can at least let your imagination run wild and go see some of his stats. I think he was a conference player of the year or freshman of the year or something, and averaged like 20 points a game at the Division II level there. So keep that in mind. Pottage Cheese says, I'll be your co-host. I've got enough Mariner fans that are co-hosts already on the show. We don't need to add any more, Pottage, but appreciate you. Let's see what else we get here in terms of the comments and the chats. How often do we get comments, questions on your career, favorite part of a medium Boise career in general? It's funny. That's a good question, Robbie. Appreciate you asking that. It is really funny, actually, because when you get into this business, it's because you love sports. And I love sports. And I knew, like, in high school that I was, good enough maybe to play high school ball or at least, compete with my friends, but definitely wasn't good enough to go to the major leagues or play in the NBA or whatever else. So I knew, pretty early that if I wanted to stay around sports for my career, it was not going to be as a player. So I thought about being an agent, and my dad has been in sports media for 40 years and looked at the different options and thought maybe that would be something that I wanted to pursue, and wrote for the school paper in high school my senior year, and then wrote at the school paper at Kansas, and it kind of led to that. And yeah, it's a pretty cool profession, not going to lie. I mean, you get paid to go watch practice. You get paid to sit courtside or to sit some of these games. You get to travel to some really cool places. There's a lot of cool things about it, but I also like to be a sports fan, and you miss a lot of sports when you do this. So you don't know how jealous I am of all of you when you're tailgating in the parking lot all day for a football game and cooking meat and burgers and food and drinking beer and watching games. Like, I would love to do that. And so my alma mater, as everybody knows on here, is Kansas. And so, like, I would love on a Saturday to, which is why I love when Boise State plays on Friday nights or something, because I can have my Saturday free and I can tailgate and have people over and watch my alma mater play. Like, I do miss that part of it. You don't get to be necessarily as big of a fan or build your life around that when you do have to cover games. A lot of times at a Boise State basketball game, I'm missing maybe some other big games that are on that night. Same with football. You're covering a football game in the press box, which is a 10, 12, 14-hour day. You're usually missing most of the other football games. So not complaining. Like I said, I'm very lucky to get to do what I do, and I appreciate all of you, and I enjoy it, and I love getting to spend my Saturdays in the press box in Eugene, Oregon, or wherever we get to go, San Diego. I mean, it's pretty darn cool. But if there was one thing that is, might someday ever get me out of the business or change the business, it is that you miss a lot of other things that are going on. My kids, you miss some of those games, things like that. But that's, everybody has things that come up with that, and so that's, love my kids, and I'm there as much as I can. But I would say it's missing other sports, missing other things that happen. But like I said, it's a pretty darn cool job. You get paid to watch sports. No one wants to hear us complain. And you get paid to do some pretty cool traveling and things like that. So I love my job. I love sports. I love talking about it. I love watching it. I love the relationships you can build. And back in the day, I loved the grind of hitting that deadline, man. There was nothing like it when that Boise State game would end at 11, and I had to have 2 full stories turned into the Idaho Press Tribune newspaper like 5 minutes later. I mean, you're writing the whole second half. You're writing the whole fourth quarter on your notebook, on your game story. That thrill is there's nothing like it. There's nothing like having 5 minutes to get a 1,000-word story turned in, and then waking up the next morning and walking out to the driveway and seeing all your coverage and making sure there were no misspellings in the headlines and making sure the score was right, and because you're writing so fast and didn't have time to. The thrill and the just adrenaline rush you would get on deadline writing was one of the coolest things ever. Don't necessarily have that as much now. I mean, when there's a breaking news story or something, you've got to pull over and get your laptop out in the parking lot and write something, but I don't do quite as much writing. I'd like to do more. I mean, people always ask me, I'd like to do more, but right now I'm hosting a show every day. I'm running a business. There's sponsors. I've got a sponsor lunch today with the fine folks from Sun Cruiser. There's just a lot of other stuff you have to do. And so I'd like to get back to the daily beat writing and writing the 2 to 3 stories a day, but we would probably need somebody else to do a lot of the show hosting or vice versa. So if I ever can get another full-time employee after Jordan K left us after 2 months, that all kidding aside, love Jordan, but you could always add someone like a John Mallory type who's more of a show host, or you could add somebody like Jordan K type who's more of a writer, and then I can kind of do the opposite. But I love both of them. I love talking, but unfortunately, that is the one thing with this job. Once we switch to BNN, it's just too hard to run the business and do all the things that come with that, and updating commercials in the system, and there's just way too much to sit there and write 2 or 3 stories a day. So I just can't do it, but I'd like to, and I try to write a couple times a week and get back to it. But that is one thing I do miss also, is not being able to write quite as much with BNN. But got some big plans. We're building it, and I'm excited about the future of it. And obviously having Nathan and Chris doing a tremendous job helping fill most of the gap on the writing side right now has been great to have them fill in. What happened to intern Colin? He works for DraftKings down in Las Vegas. Yeah, he's like literally the like any dream job we all have. Moved to Las Vegas and worked for a gambling company. Like, how awesome is that? Yeah, Colin got a job with DraftKings. He was originally in Phoenix and then moved to Vegas. So Colin lives in Vegas and works for DraftKings. Pretty darn cool. Yeah, awesome. Not slimy enough to be an agent. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't lie enough to do that, and some of the things that happen for that. Appreciate you, Billy, for watching from Minnesota. Appreciate that. All right, keep the questions coming. Keep the comments coming. David Latu, again, I got to sit down one-on-one with him. I don't know how familiar folks are with David Latu. Let's see. Love everyone you've added to the family. Curious if Dave Southern has a full-time job that is way better paying. I have talked to Dave about like a weekly column or doing some stuff. I actually did talk to Dave multiple times, but he just likes what he's doing now. He's got a good job with St. Luke's, and he gets his weekends free and his nights free, and he can now be a sports fan like I was talking about earlier. And so he loves what he is doing. And so, yes, Dave Southern would be awesome. I talked to him at the very beginning. I've talked to him numerous times, but Dave Southern has transitioned and just is in a better place in his life and has some kids, and wanting to give up some evenings or weekends or whatever to cover games again isn't something that he's wanting to do right now. But yes, I did talk to Dave Southern. Let's see. Definitely been a fan of Sun Cruiser. Glad they're a sponsor. Nice to get a canned booze without carbonation. Tell them they need a game day edition with a higher percentage. There you go. Funny. I will talk to them. I'm meeting with them today. So, yeah, appreciate that. Love Sun Cruiser. Yeah, they do a tremendous job. And at the Blueberry Lemonade, I can't tell you guys how many people never had Sun Cruiser, and they come over to my house and have one. I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is great. So give it a shot. They've got it at your local gas station, grocery store. Love Sun Cruiser. Big fan of theirs. Appreciate it. I know Robbie's making a joke here. It's easier for me to root for Boise State having a Kansas guy transfer in. How about this? Not one. They got 2. They got 2 Kansas guys on the roster this year. And our man, Sean Goodwin, actually wore a Kansas pullover. I was laughing yesterday. To practice, because Sean Goodwin is also just randomly a Kansas alum being in town here from the Idaho State. But yeah, they got 1 linebacker, 1 running back. 2 Kansas transfers have transferred in here. So, all right, David Latu. You can keep the questions, comments coming. Like I say, we're just having fun today. The show's going to go all over the place. Whatever you got, football, basketball. We'll get to somebody's saying Rasmussen. I think I saw. Yeah, that's a good name. I can scroll up. Why is this not working here? I'll give you a name, Jackson Rasmussen. Yeah, brother plays for Boise State football. Certainly could see that. Yeah, certainly could see that. But I don't know how folks would feel about Idaho transfer coming down to Boise State. Probably okay. It's happened in football before. Yeah, I can see that being a possibility. He's a name I've heard also, especially when you, like I said, put the connection together with his brother playing on the football team here at Boise State. That's certainly something that we'll keep a lookout for. All right. Keep the questions, comments coming. We'll get to them. David Latu, I want to hear from him, Boise State defensive lineman, in just a second. But I do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. Lithia Ford of Boise, new, pre-owned, perfect time. Lithia Ford of Boise for that. Great deal out there. They got some 2026s they're trying to make room for on the lot. Means they got to get rid of some of their current vehicles. Great deals right now. Check them out online, Lithia Ford of Boise. I mentioned Sun Cruiser. Sun Cruiser, pick them up. The blueberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, so many great options and flavors. Sun Cruiser, pick up a Sun Cruiser today. Pearson Carmichael, you wanted a name for a prospect for the basketball team? How about Pearson Carmichael? I'll just leave it at that as a possible player for next year. Pearson Carmichael, Natalie Pasco, both with Idaho Central Credit Union. By the way, Natalie Pasco, we were trying to get her on the show. We may record it, but she's going to be competing in a 3-point contest at the Final Four. So congratulations to Natalie Pasco. 3-point competition at the Final Four, and we'll try to get more information, and we will get back to Idaho Central Credit Union. We love them. They're awesome. And if we can get back and record that interview, we will. But Natalie Pasco, cool for her to be competing in a 3-point competition at the Final Four coming up. But Idaho Central Credit Union, online, iccu.com. And there's a branch pretty much on every corner with the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union, iccu.com. Hey, Banana Ball. If you didn't get the lottery and you want to go to Banana Ball, you can see them in Eugene, Oregon, or right here in Boise. Buy 2 body armor products. It's buy one, get one free. Use your Let's Go Rewards app, and then you're entered, thanks to Jackson's, to win 2 trips to Banana Ball. So check that out at a local Jackson's. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the S1 Management Group, the Nicolason family, whether it's the crunchy chicken cantina tacos, whether it's the breakfast quesadillas, so many great options. And my kids love just the good old-fashioned cheesy roll-ups. Taco Bell. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. If you're looking for a delicious, cheap, quick meal, Taco Bell's got you covered. Hey, if you need some new gear, Boise State gear, basketball, football, you name it. If you're getting ready for the spring game in a couple weeks, they got you covered at the Blue and Orange Store. Online, theblueandorangestore.com. Again, the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. You can go to the location there at the Boise Town Square Mall. And, of course, order anywhere in the world online at the Blue and Orange Store. All right, David Latu, 6'4", 325, redshirt senior defensive lineman, tackle in the middle of the interior there from Rose Park, Utah. Went to Brigham High School there, and again, started at Snow College, went to BYU, and obviously transferred in the last couple of years, played in 12 games last year, 6 starts. Did have a little bit of injury that kept him out of a couple games, but again, a former All-American at Snow College, has kind of seen his journey go up and down. And again, this is his final year. He says he thinks he technically does have another year because of some of the JUCO stuff, or that he could get one, but he kind of laughed. You're going to hear him in the interview. He said, nope, I'm done after this. But no Braxton Feely and David Latu, a guy on the interior. It's going to be a name you're going to get to know here over the course of the 2026 football season. Had a chance yesterday to go one-on-one, BNN and David Latu.
I feel like for the front line, we're always kind of live every time, so not really notice a difference. But it was awesome to see the team and all the boys get back to it.
We've been hearing a lot about tackling and being one of the big emphasis this year. How do you kind of see that as a guy up front in terms of tackling?
I feel like it's a big thing for us to, in a way, to perfect in that way. They talk about tagging the hip, even if in tag tempo. So we've been trying to pursue to the when the ball's out, and then tagging the hip, trying to get that into our system. So,
I know it's early and there's some guys out, but defense lost some key guys last year. How you guys kind of coming together as a new group?
Man, it's a big loss. I feel like, especially when Brax Philly was here. He's been here for a while. His whole college career, and now we're trying to pick up from that, learn from those guys, and I feel like our group is doing good as well. Just trying to grow from each other, and I feel like it's something that's very important for us to know that we are the top of the spear, and I think we talk about that a lot, is that we are the main group that everyone looks at, and that we got to set an example, even when we're feeling whatever we're feeling, and now we're trying to take that over. So
in terms of making up for Braxton, I know you're not playing necessarily the same spot, but just being there on the interior and having to make up some of that production, leadership, all that stuff. How much are you putting on yourself? How much is on you, I guess, to kind of be one of those guys to help try to make up for that loss?
For me, I feel like it was something I knew that's going to happen. I knew, Brax's last year, I knew it's going to be, okay, I got to step up as a leader. But also knowing that I tell the D-line this is like, we can always have one leader, but all of us can be leaders in each way. Say if I do something wrong, I expect them to, correct me. But the weight on my shoulder feels, I wouldn't say heavy. I feel like it's something light because of that. Because all the boys know, okay, we have this mentality of we're going to push each other and do as best as we can. So,
who are a couple other guys?
All right, apologize. I'm gonna just pause it right there real quick. Yeah, volume, turn it up all the way for David Latu. I didn't get a chance to. You should be. Are you guys not hearing it at all? Let me know because someone said no volume at all. I'm hearing it. It's just not super loud. I apologize. I can try to jack it up real quick while we're talking and maybe replay it. Give me a couple minutes here. I'll see if I can get the. We're gonna do this on the fly. I will try to. If it's really that bad that you guys can barely hear it at all, then I apologize. Give me a second here to try to. Give me a second here. I may have now you're putting me on the spot here. I may have to play another set of commercials or something to make sure we can get David Latu into the system. All right, give me a minute here. Can you hear it at all, or was it just low? I can hear with the volume up. You can barely hear him on max volume. All right. All right. I apologize. Let's play a little bit of Maddux Madsen while I try to. Let's see if I can get this figured out. Hopefully, Maddux is a little bit higher. Let's try Maddux Madsen. No, this is Cam Bates. Let's try Cam Bates.
It's good getting back out there with my teammates, everything.
All right, that one's bad too. I can already tell that one's not good. All right, let's see. I apologize. This is terrible hosting. Let's see if we can get. Let's see how Maddux sounds. All right, I apologize. We'll try Maddux Madsen.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. You guys don't want me to be comfy?
What was it like at full go live today? Just the intensity seemed like it was higher.
Yeah, that's always the best day. I mean, like you said, the intensity itself just rises. You can see you make tackles and break them. It's a fun day to be a part of.
What's it say like to have like Sire and Dylan and some of these like star players out there live and getting hit, and they're not shying away from it either? I mean, on day 3 of spring camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why you consider them the best players, because their ability to go out there, no matter the circumstances, they're going to play ball. It's awesome to see those elite running backs go live. That's for sure. It's a great feeling as a quarterback.
It's actually when you see the practice script or practice plan, you're like, oh, we're going live on day 3 of spring ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I don't look too much into it. I know some guys are talking about it, but that's the game that we play is a live football game, and so I think the more we can do in practice honestly helps us. Obviously, we have to protect guys, but it's awesome to see the energy, like we talked about, the intensity, just rise when we get ready for practice.
Got a block freshman that you'll be working with. I guess I'll start with quarterbacks, like just specifically with Jackson and Cash. Just what are you seeing out of those two guys so far?
Yeah, they're extremely impressive to me. That's something that I've noticed since the day they got in here. Their ability, I mean, both Jackson and Cash, they were even chill
moving along.
Prior to our own quarterback meetings. Just basically get a good understanding of the offense, and they've done a really impressive job. I mean, Coach Potter mentioned on the first day of practice, Cash got more reps than any freshman quarterback in Boise State history. He's just thrown into the fire, and I think it'll help him down the road. And they've done a really good job understanding, and they'll get the speed of the game a little bit as we get more into it, but they've done a really good job. They impressed me.
What's your relationship been like?
They're awesome. I mean, they're two different personalities, but that's the joyous part of this game, and like being here, you get to relate with guys in certain situations, and I have a great relationship with both of them. They're awesome to me.
Just last one there, you said 2 different personalities, I guess. So what are 2 personalities?
I mean, I think you see Cash is a more like outgoing, wants to hang out with people, and Jackson wants to hang out with people, but he's more kept to himself, and like I said, that's the cool part.
All right, I don't think his sounds great either. I apologize. Bought a new microphone. People are complaining about the audio. Spent $250 actually buying a brand new microphone system that you clip one on them. You clip one on the person who's asking the questions, and so people are always complaining about something. I am working on it. On that one, on the David Latu one, you can see that the clip on his clip actually falls down a little bit, and then you can't hear it as good because the mic's facing this way. Now, as you also see on Boise State's, I'll mute this and play this for a second. Boise State put a new little thing up there that we have to use now for the microphones, and I tried to angle it towards him, but it's not perfect. So we are working, as I said, on trying to figure out how to. They don't want us clipping all these mics on the players anymore, so they gave us a little stand. And as you can see, I tried to angle it towards them, but that doesn't seem to be working great either. So I am working on it. I apologize. This is bad hosting, bad show, but a lot of you have, I wouldn't say complained. Some of you complained. I would say provided constructive feedback that the audio hasn't been great. So let's see. I love the folks that also, want to tell me exactly how it is. Let's see here. Increased gain structure needed. I've got a Rode microphone system, and if there's a way to increase it on there, please let me know. But I think I did through iMovie bump up David Latu here. So let's try David Latu again. Give me a thumbs up if this sounds better. It is a good interview. It's about 6-7 minutes, but I think it's good stuff as you learn some of these players that are going to be key players on the defensive line. So let's try David Latu again. Let me know if this is any better.
Like it's moving along, feeling good.
Full pads today, intensity was up. Going live, what was that like?
I feel like for the front line, we're always kind of live every time, so not really notice a difference. But it was awesome to see the team and all the boys get back to it.
We've been hearing a lot about tackling and being one of the big emphasis this year. How do you kind of see that as a guy up front in terms of tackling?
I feel like it's a big thing for us to, in a way, to perfect in that way. They talk about tagging the hip, even if in tag tempo. So we've been trying to pursue to the when the ball's out, and then tagging the hip, trying to get that into our system. So,
I know it's early and there's some guys out, but defense lost some key guys last year. How you guys kind of coming together as a new group?
Man, it's a big loss. I feel like, especially when Brax Philly was here. He's been here for a while. His whole college career, and now we're trying to pick up from that. Learn from those guys, and I feel like our group is doing good as well. Just trying to grow from each other, and I feel like it's something that's very important for us to know that we are the top of the spear, and I think we talk about that a lot, is that we are the main group that everyone looks at, and that we got to set an example, even when we're feeling whatever we're feeling, and now we're trying to take that over. So
in terms of making up for Braxton, I know you're not playing necessarily the same spot, but just being there on the interior and having to make up some of that production, leadership, all that stuff. How much are you putting on yourself? How much is on you, I guess, to kind of be one of those guys to help try to make up for that loss?
For me, I feel like it was something that I knew that's going to happen. I knew, Brax's last year, I knew it's going to be, okay, I got to step up as a leader. But also knowing that, I tell the D-line this, is like, we can always have one leader, but all of us can be leaders in each way. Say if I do something wrong, I expect them to, correct me. But the weight on my shoulder feels, I wouldn't say heavy, I feel like it's something light because of that. Because all the boys know, okay, we have this mentality of we're going to push each other and do as best as we can. So,
who are a couple other guys in there on the interior that you're excited about how they're looking?
Man, I'm excited for Kale Edward transfer. He's doing amazing. He's something that we are looking at, and then obviously we have Mikey, and then we have all the younger guys that are growing still, and Lopez is hurt as right now, but we are excited to see how this D-line grows.
What's this journey been like for you, man? Been to a couple different stops, and here you are as a senior. Is this your last? Do you technically, because of the could you try to get another year after this year?
I could, but
okay.
This is gonna be my last year.
You're kind of looking at this being okay.
For sure.
So how do you? Like I said, it's been different places, different stops. Like, how are you kind of going into your last ride, your mental approach, I guess, for what you want to get out of this, and just your last year in college, man?
For me, I tell all the boys this, is to enjoy this ride and enjoy this time. For me, I'm just enjoying this time and doing my best every time I have. Get on the field, be with the boys, and just working hard. I think that's one thing my mindset is at. Being from other schools and being here, I said this to Coach Miley because he recruited me when I was younger, but I was like, yeah, I should have came here a long time ago. But but now I've been here. I have Coach Miley as my coach. I'm very grateful for the opportunity they give me, and I'm just taking it in and doing my best.
How do you kind of describe your football journey that's led you to us sitting here today?
Exciting. I feel like every stops I had, it was very exciting. I was there experienced different schools, and now I still excited from what I have from here. So
Do you have goals of playing at the next level? I mean, so how do you kind of? I know it's a team game. I get all that, but you doing good would help the team. How do you kind of look at this year for you being a big year for your future and stuff, and obviously wanting to have the best year of your career this year?
Yes, and I talked to Coach Miley about this, and me and him had great conversations, and I set goals very high for me this year. And I one thing I should have put my goals higher last year as well, but this year is very high, and I'm expecting to be one of the best D tackles this year. And with that, I had to do my best every practice. I had to, come be here first, be one of the leaders here, and with that. So
any of those numbers you're comfortable sharing, or is that all private stuff?
That's all private stuff right now. But
in terms of like tackles, sacks, pressures, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is going to come with like what I said. The best D tackle I have to have, obviously the number one in all of all D tackles. So I'm still working on that, and I think it's all mindset as I continue to grow and learn.
What is the difference in your mental mindset, your comfort level, all that stuff in a spring like now, maybe when you first, even got to Boise State?
Man, when I first got to Boise State, I barely knew what blocks was. I barely knew to defend blocks. I think I was still learning in football. Coach Miley would say I was kind of like in kindergarten football with a big body, obviously. And now I kind of understand a little bit more of football, understanding what blocks they give, how to defend it. I'm looking forward into defending blocks, being a real run stopper, and understanding my pass rushing and how to get there and all that.
What's it like having Coach Miley now be the full-time D-line coach, and I know Chins is still around, but having him be able to kind of move around to other groups too. I mean, how much do you think that's going to help the defense?
Already, you feel that impact from Coach Miley. He pushes you to the limits, and then he knows you're going to be at the limit. He pushes you further, and I think that's something that we need as a team, especially as a D-line, to be, okay, I'm tired. We did these amount of plays. We need to keep going, and not just for ourselves, but for our team. So.
And I guess just the makeup of this defense, I mentioned in the beginning, you lost some key guys. I mean, how eager do you think a lot of these guys are for their chance? A lot of these guys have been waiting, playing behind guys, maybe playing limited roles. Like a lot of guys are going to get their shot, whether they're transfers or sophomores now that were sitting as freshmen. Like, is there a lot of guys with chips on their shoulder here this year, you think, on the defense?
For sure. I didn't think the whole defense is hungry this year. And that's one thing I noticed is that everyone's here to work and no playing around. I mean, obviously, we have that time for another time, but I think everyone's here to work. Everyone's heart is here, and that's one thing I noticed is as a team, as a defense as well, everyone's just ready to go. And no matter where you're at right now, everyone's just still working hard.
And maybe this is a better question for a couple weeks from now, but what do you think the strength of this defense, what are you guys going to hang your hat on? What do you think, when it's all said and done at the end of the season, this strength is going to be this defense?
I think the strength of the defense would be the front line, the front D-line. I think we're putting that on our shoulders, making sure that the front line is going to be the strength of the whole defense. So ultimately, the front has to be the strength for the whole defense. I feel like we're the ones that everyone's like, okay, these guys are the guys. And once we do that and actually uphold that, I feel like everyone else in the defense will be smooth.
So I guess final question, just kind of putting all this together. How excited are you for this season, just to have this bigger role, have a chance to have bigger, and I guess I should ask one thing about the injuries. How frustrating was that at times last year, and I guess how do you feel now?
Injuries, man, I was kind of frustrated. I wanted to play a lot more. Only like 2-3 games I think I was out. But also coming back from an injury, it was really hard to try to play at my potential, I feel like. But also I healed. I'm back, and I feel like I did the rehab and everything right. So should be good.
So how excited are you just to hopefully be healthy and play a full season, and just kind of go into this knowing it's your last year, and hope the team can do well and you can do well? I mean, just I know it feels like a long ways away. What's just the excitement level for the next 9-10 months here?
Man, it's probably like all of the roof. I'm super excited for this year. I feel like it's something that a lot of people has been waiting, and for myself, I've been waiting for this too, and I've been working hard. So I'm getting very excited about this year, and I think this defense is excited as well.
All right, there he is, David Latu. Appreciate him Again, sorry for the audio not being. I'll just show you guys, I guess. Why not? This is what I ran out and got out of my car. So we use the. This is a Rode is the name of the company here. It's this is almost $300 I got online. So you plug this into here, with using the cord, then you plug it into your iPhone. It's a pretty cool little deal. And then we have 2 wireless mics. One you can clip up here, and if you notice on David Latu's, when he started talking, it kind of leaned over like this, and so the microphone was going that way instead of this way. On some of the others, we do have this little handy dandy stick mic they give us. You can put the mic and slide it in here and then kind of use it as a stick mic, and you can cover it up like this, like a regular microphone that's still wireless. Tried it on Maddux Madsen, but as you could tell, it wasn't super loud because it was further away. So I'll have to, do a better job of monitoring that before, and if I need to, trying to bump them up in post-production afterwards before I post them. I will do the best I can on that. So I apologize that, it's funny. Some people say, oh, you can't hear the questions. So then you go buy, a nice mic, or first they said, you can't, you can't hear the guy. It's not good enough. So then you go buy a mic, you clip it on them, and they say, oh, can't hear the questions. So there's just something pretty much you can complain about for pretty much everything. So doing the best we can. We'll figure it out. As Johnny Ballgame says, step it up. Yes, we will do our best, Johnny, to step it up. Johnny will join us tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Looking forward to having Johnny. We're not sure of the exact time yet. Maybe before practice, maybe after practice. I got to figure that out. We will see. Yeah, thanks to David Latu. We also have Cam Bates, also have Bowen Phelps, also have Maddux Madsen. Those full interviews are up on the YouTube channel if you'd like to go back and listen to any of those. Hey, keep your comments, questions coming. But in the meantime, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, is Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, do what the Raines family did. Go with Matt Bauscher and his team, and you get to meet everybody in the picture there when you buy or sell a home with Matt, because every step of the way, it's a different person handling it. And it's just first-class service every step of the way. 252-9877 online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Hey, Signature Roofing, if you need a new roof, they got you covered. They've been covering our community one roof at a time for more than 2 decades. You can leave a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. We'll play it on an upcoming show, and that's brought to you by Signature Roofing. But whether it's a full re-roof, a repair to your roof, an inspection, maybe an estimate, they got you covered. Online, the official roofer at Bronco Nation News, that is Signature Roofing. Again, mysignatureroofing.com. What about a fence? You on the fence about that fencing project? Now's the time. Element Fencing has you covered. More than 25 years, Brady and his staff have been working in this industry, building fences, decks, pergolas, you name it, and they can help you build that project from the ground up and whatever you need for your project and the space you have and the design that you want, they can help you. It's all customized, and we had them do a fence for us at our old house, and it was exactly what we needed, fit in perfectly with the other fence that we were trying to replace. And so Element Fencing online, elementfencing.com. Check them out, get more information, make the call today. You'll be happy that you did. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Love that Cuno location, the Star location as well. If you're going up to McCall, 13 locations in all in and around the state of Idaho, surrounding states as well. You're looking for that hometown grocer. The conglomerates, the prices aren't great. The corporate stores, go think local. Think about a family that supports, Boise State and the community here. And that's Ridley's Family Markets online, shopridleys.com. Hey, rowpaint.com. If you're trying to get that painting project done, now's the time. How about the painter for a day project? You provide the paint, they provide the painter, and you can get those couple walls touched up, whatever you need done in your house. Rowpaint.com, the great concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, residential, commercial, industrial. They can do it all. Hit them up at rowpaint.com. And transportation compliance service, transcompservice.com. You can get into the trucking industry at Transportation Compliance Service. Again, whether it's DOT, overweight, all the paperwork and permits and things you need. I think the stat is almost 75% of people that try to do it themselves end up going out of business. So let the professionals handle it. It's a local company helping out folks all over the world. Transportation Compliance Service. All right. By the way, Johnny, your Venmo should have hit. So my accountant has paid you for the month, so you can make your appearance tomorrow. Johnny's the first one on the first of the month to always send you a text and say, happy first, when in reality he's saying, send me my money. So love folks like that don't even give you till 9 o'clock sometimes before reminding you. But Johnny, you've been paid, so we'll see you on tomorrow's show. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Go Mariners. Yeah. Hey, I got no problem with the Mariners. I actually texted Johnny and some buddies last night saying, how do I watch the Mariners game? Because it gets blacked out on my MLB app, but they informed me it was on TNT, so I was able to switch over and watch it. So if anybody has a Mariners.tv login they want to share with me so I can watch the Mariners games, that would be great. Because I have the Cardinals.tv and can watch all the other games, but for some reason, since I live in the Mariners territory, technically, I even have YouTube TV, but cannot watch the Mariners games somehow. So that is always frustrating. But there's like 10-day baseball games, by the way, today I saw on the schedule. So basketball spend $2 million. I don't know if you're talking rev share. It was a little over that. And my understanding is the number for this year is going to be like $3.5 million almost. They're really raising the budget on the rev share. It's going to be well over $3 million is my understanding this year. And so I know they have a plan. Folks are disappointed losing Drew Fielder. I get it. That was a massive loss. No one is denying that. It was a big loss to lose Drew Fielder. He was the one guy you probably wanted to try to build around. And that certainly is not a ideal situation to lose Drew Fielder. But I will say this. They claim they have a plan. They've got some guys coming back. They have some targets out there. And I think that, it is what it is. I know some folks said I was crazy. Folks said that Jeff Choate was crazy when he said this. I think Jeff Choate was like, hey, come play for us for a year and then go get 1.6 at Oregon the next year. I really do believe that's not a terrible strategy right now for Boise State. And I get it. It's a bad look, whatever. But like Drew Fielder came to Boise State for $300,000 and turned it into $2+ million. Like, why would you not use that as a selling point for other players? Hey, come to Boise State, have a big year, put up big stats, and either we'll pay you or somebody will, and you're going to get paid next year. So, like, I'm not saying you're advocating, folks only come for 1 year, et cetera. But I totally think Boise State should be using Drew Fielder's story for other players. Hey, he was going to get he got $300,000 last year. He came to our system, our coaching, our situation, and he got $2 million the next year. So, like, hey, why not use that as an example and try to tell kids, come here, and hopefully next year we can pay you. But if not, somebody will. You can make money and increase your value and your worth by coming to Boise State. That's what I would tell people, because it's certainly, I think the Choate argument works much better for basketball than it does football. Well, it definitely works. I mean, the thing is, I don't think you want to be selling that you only want a kid for 1 year, that you only hope he stays 1 year when you're recruiting him. Like, sure, you want these kids to stay their whole career. You want them to finish out whatever eligibility they have left. But it really is a 1 year at a time type thing right now with basketball. There's no saying that anybody is going to stay for more than a year. So why not build the roster for next year and then worry about 2027 the year after that? So I think that if you were a Isaiah Harwell, let's just say, and you'd barely played at Houston, and you want that big dollar payday, you want that NBA contract at some point, but you didn't put up big numbers at Houston, maybe there's some value to showing him that, hey, you come to a year at Boise State, look what Drew Fielder did. He increased his worth by 7 times the following season elsewhere. And maybe you can get an Isaiah Harwell to come for 1 year and score 20 points a game and then go to Gonzaga for $3-4 million next year, or whatever it would be. I'm not saying it's going to happen with him, but I think there's value in trying to use that so to speak. So the center from Florida, the 7'9" center, I mean, that would be crazy. It would certainly get some excitement. I mean, maybe he is more of a Pac-12 Mountain West type player than a SEC player at Florida. Only played in a handful of games at the very end. He's very raw, but I mean, if you're a rim protector in the middle, 7'9", he would certainly fill that. Yeah, guys, he's 7'9" tall. That would certainly fill some of their voids, but he only played in 6 games. I think he's more of a project. I mean, I don't even know if he's a Division I player, in terms of putting up big stats and impact. It was more of a novelty thing to say you had a 7'9" player on your roster. Maybe. I doubt he's looking for much NIL. I don't know. I'll be curious to see where he goes. But maybe if he's does some things that I didn't see in the 6 games or whatever he played at Florida, who knows? But he looks kind of clumsy when you're that tall. You're not that smooth. I saw one nice dunk on a highlight, but a lot of it is just him getting in for the last 20 seconds of games. I don't know. Well, I do not think he should be a target of theirs, but I mean, maybe it'd be kind of fun if they got him, I guess, just to see what would happen. But I would not, hold my breath on them getting him. But they have a plan, and they're going to get 5, 6, 7 guys. Ryan Skeen asking about the BNN golf tournament. I'm gonna, I think officially right now say no golf tournament this year. I apologize. I know folks like it, but it's just too much work. I already talked about BNN being a lot of work for one full-time employee, and putting on a golf tournament and everything you have to do get all the different things for the holes and the sponsors and the giveaways and dealing with the course and the alcohol and everything that comes with it, and the rising prices of golf tournaments and the greens fees and the carts and the way they do it, where an alcohol company wants to donate the alcohol, but they're not allowed to. They still have to pay for it. There's just a lot of nickel and diming that goes on at some of these courses and things and with tournaments. And the whole goal was to be a charity tournament to raise money for charity, not for BNN. BNN loses money every year on the golf tournament because that's just the way it is. I don't make a penny off the golf tournament, and it's a ton of work, and it's a hassle, and it's stressful for me myself to put on a golf tournament and hope it goes well. And it's just very, very busy couple of days. It's very stressful. And as I said, last year, we ended up not being able to give the charity nearly as much money as I wanted to, just because of rising costs in other areas. And so the big issue was you put in all this time and effort for 2 months. It's very stressful. It's just a pain. It's 2 of the, worst days of, I don't say worst days of my life, but they're just very stressful days running the tournament. And when at the end you add it all up and you can't give the charity nearly as much. I mean, I want to give the charity $10, $15, $20,000, and we're only able to give them, 3, 4, 5 after the tournament last year. It just kind of, I don't know. I'd like to do it again. I'd like to, I have some ideas. Talked about running a youth baseball tournament and maybe get some sponsors involved and let all the teams enter for free. I've talked about, I still want to do the happy hour, the brewery meet and greet. I still would like to do that if that's something people would pay for a donation to charity. We've tried it in the past where you got in for free if you played in the tournament, but if you didn't, you could pay to come. And not a lot of people have decided to just pay and come. So that is something I would certainly consider. I know Coach Rice, Coach Danielson, I think that if for a good cause, they would come and do that. And so I do have events. I have thoughts of a trivia night. Not sure if you guys have ever heard of that, but you get tables of 8 and you go to some big space, and it's a big deal in the Midwest. It's a big thing. It's kind of like your buddies at bar trivia, but on a bigger scale. You buy a table of 8 and the money goes to the charity. And then there's 100 questions, 10 questions per round. And you guys talk about it, put your answer down. And there's different categories, maybe one for each Fiesta Bowl, one for Boise State basketball, one for other sports, one for music. I don't know. You could have different rounds, and you all, either bring your own food in, or you can pay extra and have food and drink there. I don't know. I've got a lot of ideas, and I love the golf tournament. It's fun. We sell out every year, and I appreciate all of you that have asked about it. But just to be completely honest, it is too much work, and not enough money goes to the charity for it when it's all said and done and all the expenses are paid and things like that. So somebody, yes, I could probably use some volunteer help. My family was my volunteer help. My wife, my kids, my parents would fly in town. My brother and his wife would fly in town. And it was a lot of work, like I said. So I get it. It's cool. I'm not complaining. I'm the only full-time employee. But when the point of the, all that, and I really started it because in May and June, I have nothing to do. I had nothing to do in May and June, and I just gives me something to keep me busy a lot of times when there's no practice or anything. But it got to the point this past year where it was just too much work and not enough money going to the charity as a result. And so I just got to find a way to figure out how to do it. But I love giving back to charities. I've mentioned it before. My family in St. Louis runs a charity for kids with cancer. I want to give as much money to charity and do as many good things as I can. So whether it's a meet and greet at the brewery, whether it's a trivia night, whether it's a pickleball tournament, I would like to do something. The kids baseball tournament is one I would actually really like to do. I have a weekend reserved in July, but I just don't know if it's too late to pull it off. But the goal would be get enough money from sponsors that all the teams can enter for free. and then also still make a donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So you're helping kids in the area by letting them play in a free baseball tournament, and then you're also donating to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission as well. So I'm going to talk to our sponsors and see if that's something we might be able to pull off at some point. But again, still scheduling umpires, getting the field prep done. There's just a lot involved with any of these kind of things. So I've got a lot of ideas. If you have any, please email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, rains@bronconationnews.com. Please email me. I would love to have any ideas you have, any charities you have that are good causes. We love the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, but I'm fair game to help as many different charities as we can if we can come up with the right stuff. Alumni flag football game. That's kind of cool. That's a good idea. That'd be pretty cool to do. We just got to get a lot of alumni in town at the same time, and that's pretty hard to pull off, to be honest. I know like Kansas basketball does a charity basketball game where they bring in former players, but I think they make so much money at that event that they pay the players, to fly in, like they pay for their travel. I'm not sure that's something we could do right now and still turn a profit. Yeah, lots of ideas. We'll let you know about it moving forward here, but no golf tournament this year. I apologize. I'm probably screwing myself because if I want to do it next year, people won't be available that weekend. But I mean, we had a ton of returners like you, Ryan Skeen, that played pretty much every year. Bob Schuler, a lot of you guys, and I really appreciate it. It was a ton of fun. We ended up getting great weather most of the time out there. One year we did the afternoon and morning session, and it rained when everybody was on their last hole. But for the most part, great weather, great times, and it's been a lot of fun. And we have donated in 5 years of doing the tournament, I think 4 or 5 years, like over $30,000, $35,000, I think, to the $34,000, something like that, to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So we raised a lot of money. We had gone, I think, 5, 8, 10, and I think last year we had to go back down to like 4 or 5. And just like I said, golf courses have to make money. I get it. There's a lot goes on for it, but it ends up just being really hard to make a big profit unless you're charging, $300 a person or something, and that's just not something that I want to do for the tournament. So more to come on our charitable efforts at BNN, but email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we will do what we can to get some things. But appreciate those of you that said you would donate to that for the kids baseball tournament. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll see. I don't want to take donations yet if I'm not doing the tournament. I got to see if I could even get enough teams that would want to do it first. But mid-July is when I was looking at. I have the fields reserved for the weekend, but we'll see. That may be something I need to start planning now and promoting for next summer. But yeah, the happy hour thing's the easiest to do. I just have to get the coaches that want to come, and I want to sell tickets. So if that's something folks would consider paying, I don't know, $30, and maybe you get a free drink ticket or something. I don't know, $35, $50. I don't know. And you get to have a meet and greet with some coaches and have a Q&A. Maybe that's something we can, try to schedule and happen, because that was a fun event at the brewery. But again, all those were folks that for the most part were playing in the golf tournament. And so we didn't make any extra money off that, so to speak. But we'll see. A lot of ideas, and we'll see what happens here moving forward. So appreciate you guys. I know the show is all over the place today. We went almost an hour hosting myself, so probably wasn't the best show we've ever had, but got our sponsors thanked and got our required stuff in. And so sometimes that's just you get through it, and that's what it is. So apologize for the show not being as good as maybe it is some days. But any football, basketball news breaks, we'll get that to you online. Nathan Carroll's got some articles up. Chris has an article up. You can go read those right now at bronconationnews.com. All the practice observations from yesterday. Let's see. Read my comment. Where is your comment here? Saw you at the girls' basketball game in San Jose. I thought about going and saying, you should have. You should have. Always love meeting folks and seeing folks. I brought my son to that game. I had my 8-year-old son with me. So, yeah, that would have been fun. BNN After Dark. Again, got to have, sponsors and guests, and that certainly is something that might be able to try to bring back at some point. We've got Ball Talk in the evenings. We've got the Riley and Ridge show, so always looking to add shows. Yeah, that's certainly something we could try to look into again. BNN After Dark. Again, there has to be a return on it, and we have 2 other evening shows now, and again, a lot of those shows, at least the Riley and Ridge show, I'm still having to go and set up and things like that. So we're looking to add some staff for some of the other, behind the scenes stuff and things like that. So a lot going on. Hope to add some more shows, hope to add more staff, all that stuff, but it's got to be with the subscription numbers and all that stuff. So please subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com. 50% off. That's right, 50% off at BroncoNationNews.com. You can subscribe for like $6-7 a month. Help us out and continue to grow what we are very proud of here at Bronco Nation News. And as we get ready to have spring football for another month, and then obviously gear up for a big football and basketball season next year. So portal news for basketball, players come and going, football the next month. Now's the perfect time to subscribe. BroncoNationNews.com. Sign up today, and we appreciate all of your support. Again, it's April Fools. Don't fall for the April Fools jokes. They're not changing the color of the turf. All the folks that are out there, there's a lot of stuff that happens every year. UNLV is not going to the Pac-12 today. If it's announced today, it's April Fools. I already saw somebody try to report that. So don't fall for it. Make sure it's a legit source before any news. And there is sometimes news that does break on April 1st that is true. So just pay attention to it. But, and yes, that is not April Fools. Maddux Madsen is QB1. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. Go subscribe. Go see all the great work we have at BroncoNationNews.com. And Johnny Ballgame will join me tomorrow. Not sure on the time due to football practice tomorrow, so follow us on social media. Check the YouTube channel. We'll have the time there for the broadcast tomorrow morning once we figure out exactly what we're doing. But they are practicing at 9:30, so there's a chance we start at 8:45 and go 8:45 to 9:30 before practice. Chance we go after practice at 11. So we'll let you know. So appreciate all of you guys for checking us out. Have a great day. And that's really nice of you to say. Deborah, thank you so much. Very, very kind. Appreciate that. So we'll get to more of your hardcore football questions and things tomorrow with Johnny. And we'll see you probably 8:45, but we'll let you know. Bronco Nation News online, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care.